Have you ever noticed how scared we are of dying? We hold on to life like it's the most precious thing, as if every moment could be our last. We're so afraid of death that we've created stories to pretend it doesn't even exist. But what if I told you something amazing? What if death isn't the end of you? Not because you'll live forever in your current body, but because what you really are was never born and cannot die. Let me explain this in a simple way. First, think about what's actually permanent in this world. Look at your body right now. Your cells are dying and being replaced all the time. The atoms in your body are always moving. Your thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. Your emotions change like the weather. So I have to ask you, where is this permanent you that could die? Here's the real thing. We confuse ourselves with words. We say, I am alive, like we're a fixed thing that has life. But that's not true at all. Life isn't something you have. It's something you are. You don't own life like the ocean owns water. You are life itself, just showing up as a human for a while. If there's no permanent you to start with, then what could possibly die? Now let's talk about something called the ego. It's that feeling of being a separate me, like there's a little person inside your head looking out at the world that's separate from everything else. The ego is terrified of dying because its whole job is to keep you separate from everything around you. Death feels like the end of that separation, and the ego can't handle that. But here's a secret. That ego, that feeling of being separate, might not be who you really are at all. Think of it like acting in a movie. When you watch an actor on screen, they become the character. The audience believes they are that character. But when the movie ends, the actor doesn't die. The character just stops, but the actor goes home. You're exactly like that. You're playing a character called you. When this life ends, the character stops. But what you really are doesn't end. It just stops playing this role. So what actually dies when someone dies? The pattern dies. The character dies. The temporary arrangement of body and mind dies. But the real you, the awareness, the consciousness that was watching everything, that doesn't die. It just moves on. Think about this for a moment. You've never existed outside the present moment. You're never in the past or the future. You only ever exist right now. The past is just memory happening now. The future is just imagination happening now. Your entire life experience is always happening in this eternal present moment. So if you only ever exist in the present moment, and the present moment is always alive with experience, then you can never experience being dead. You will only ever experience being alive, because that's the only thing you ever experience, the now. Here's something even more mind-blowing. When you really look closely, you can't find a real boundary between you and the rest of the world. Your skin exchanges molecules with the air around you. Your lungs take in oxygen from outside and send carbon dioxide back out. The food you eat becomes you. Your thoughts are shaped by everything and everyone around you. There is no real line between you and not you. It's just an idea we invented, but it's not real. And if there's no real boundary, then you can't be separated from the universe. You're not in the universe like a drop of water is in the ocean. You are the universe. The whole thing expressing itself as you right now. When you understand this, death isn't scary anymore. It's not a separation. It's just a change, like a wave on the ocean crashing back into the water. The wave disappears, but the ocean continues. The atoms that made up that wave become part of new waves. Nothing is lost. Everything transforms. Let me give you a beautiful way to understand this. Imagine an ocean with waves on top. Each wave thinks it's separate, It has its own shape and personality. It believes it will die when it crashes on the shore. The wave is scared of disappearing. But a wave isn't separate from the ocean. A wave is just the ocean moving. When the wave crashes, it doesn't die. It just becomes the ocean again. The energy returns to the water, and eventually, new waves form. You're the same. You're the universe's wave. You have your own shape and pattern, but you're not really separate from the universe. When your life ends, you return to the source. The energy and consciousness that makes you don't disappear. They express themselves in new forms. The atoms in your body will become part of other living things. The consciousness that looks out through your eyes will look out through other eyes. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is lost. Think of life like a play or a game of hide and seek. Consciousness, the basic awareness that exists everywhere, is playing a game with itself. It pretends to be millions of separate things. It forgets that it's one consciousness playing many roles. Why would it do this? For the same reason children play hide and seek. Because it's fun and exciting. There's excitement in the game of being limited, in the joy of rediscovering who you are. Death in this game is when one player says, "Okay, I've played this role long enough. Let me try something else." It's not the end of the game. It's just changing positions. The game goes on forever. There's something funny about all this. We've been terrified of losing something we never had in the first place. We've been running from death like it could separate us from life. But we can never be separated from life. We are life. We're like waves running from the ocean, not realizing we are the ocean. When you really see this, the only thing you can do is laugh. Not a sad laugh or a scared laugh, but a laugh of freedom and joy. This is what the ancient wise people meant when they talked about enlightenment. It's not about becoming something new. It's about recognizing what you've always been. And when you see that, you naturally laugh at how silly you were to be afraid. You'll realize you've been taking yourself too seriously. You've been identifying with the character instead of the actor. But the actor can play many characters. The awareness, that is, you can experience many lives, many forms, many adventures. So here's the simple truth. You will never die. Not because your body will last forever, but because what you really are was never born. You're not a thing in the universe. You are the universe pretending to be a thing. You're not a small part of something big. You're the whole thing expressing itself in a small way right now. When you understand this, you stop being afraid. You stop running. You start living fully. You appreciate every moment because you realize every moment is eternal. The present moment is all that exists, and it's always alive. Don't just believe this because I said it. Look into your own experience. Notice right now that you're alive. Notice that you only ever experience the present. Notice that you can't find a clear boundary between where you end and the world begins. When you discover these things for yourself, you'll understand that death isn't an enemy. It's just a change. And change is how the universe keeps itself alive and creative. The fear of death ends when you realize what you really are. And that realization can happen right now, today, in this very moment. You are safe. You were never in danger. What you truly are cannot be lost, cannot be broken, cannot be destroyed. And in that understanding lies the freedom and peace you've been searching for. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you see something true in these words.